Just to refresh in the mind, last session was on how to be a patriot. So I don't have to be a part of the armed forces to be a patriot. Every person who is an Indian can in their own ways be a patriot. And unless I feel a sense of pride for my country, I won't be able to get the best of myself also in this country. So this was the basic premise with which we conducted the last session. Here are some very beautiful things which has come to us as sharings. Now what I liked about Hamza is, he was a partner. So those of you who have been a part of KMM for a little while, you know, there are times when the partner does not prepare for the session because they know they just have to be inside the classroom, take probably 5-7 minutes, and that's it. But this guy always prepares for the entire session, understanding one of those days for some reason the speaker may not be there. I am the fallback option and I must be ready at all times. When he was told that you need to have at least 3 mocks, he said done. And when he was traveling in the bus, he asked his co-passenger, I am doing this program. Is it okay if I share it with you? It will be nice revision for me. And you give me your opinion also. Now in our country, if anybody is looking for your opinion, you are ready to listen to whatever they have to say. We love to give opinions. But imagine the drive of Hamza who wants to make the best of their journey also, and talks to that guy, speaks to him about the session, asks his view, and in that gesture itself creates another patriot in the journey. Isn't it sweet and nice? I know Tushar Tandel, what he has been doing in Bombay. He goes for a walk in the evening, and in the evening he's gathering all the children of the society where he stays. Right from 3-year-old to 15-year-old children, he makes all of them sit and listen. Sometimes they understand, sometimes they don't understand. But Tushar says what is important is, I understand the session much better. So I am continuing to do this. I will share with you 3 beautiful things. There's this amazing human being called Aradhna Kulkarni, and she shared something very amazing with me. She writes, Naren, there are 2 international weddings in my family. My cousin got married to a Russian Muslim girl, and my brother-in-law will get married to a Polish Christian girl. In one of the marriage rituals, I told them the logic of Arundhati Vashisht, prepared a small speech for all of them. After hearing the speech, my Polish bhabhi was in tears. She stood up, hugged me, and she was completely speechless. And I could see some moisture in the Russian eyes too. A lot of people around asked for the details, and I humbly told them that this is a part of the KMM sessions and from our life school team. I sincerely felt the need of such awareness and information. I'm feeling very happy, feeling proud that I have already made 2 Russians and 4 Polish friends for Bharat. Saying thank you seems to be very formal, but believe me, I do not have better words. So this is from Aradhna Kulkarni. Aradhna, are you there somewhere? Where are you? Ah, there she is. Now this is from the Aurangabad team. So from there, Praveen writes, Dear Naren, we are starting KMM sessions at 2 orphanages in Aurangabad. So not in the school, but in an orphanage. Of course, they are doing it in many schools, but they decided to do it in orphanage also. One is called Hegdevigar School, and the other is called Bhagwan Baba Balika Ashram. All of these children have parents who have committed suicide. Which means everybody in these 2 orphanages are children who are not naturally orphans, but whose parents have committed suicide. In the first NGO, total number of students are 350, and in the second NGO, there are about 120. We are taking sessions for the girls and the boys of 8th, 9th, and 10th class. It feels beautiful and very, very complete. Isn't it a nice gesture? Why I'm sharing with this is the way some of us can think about the session and connect it to people who might need it, and this search for this connection is much more than the responsibility that I've assumed of taking a session inside the classroom. Which means from very deep inside, there is an urge, there is a need, there is a strong voice which says, this session must be shared with as many people as possible. Anyway, I know this session. So if I have to go and speak about it in another place, it will take how much time from me? 40, 45 minutes to take the session, another half an hour to travel. But in 1 hour, 15 minutes, if I can create an impact in some lives, what better utilization of my time? It's very humbling to know the kind of effort that some of us are putting in reaching out to people. Somebody the other day was asking me, have you done impact assessment? I said, we would love to, but probably the impact of this work will be felt only after 10 to 15 years. When these children who are in class 9th and 10th, who are 15 and 16, grow up to become 30, 35. And that time probably we'll be able to see the work that we have done and the life they are living. There's another very beautiful sharing. Now this is from Mr. Kamal Pagaria from Udaipur. He writes, this is with reference to session number 3. Now session number 3 was impossible is temporary. I conducted this at the Government Senior Secondary School, Sukher, with class 10 students. Inside the class, we told the students the story about the boy who decides to stop his father from smoking. After narrating this story, I posed a question to the students and asked how many of them have family members who smoke, and many hands were raised inside the classroom. With a small pause, I asked students, will any one of you would be interested in doing what that 12-year-old boy in the story did? I am pleased to inform you, Naren, that 3 female students stood up and agreed to take this as a challenge and make it happen. Really, it's a growth moment for me, my team, and all of us in Udaipur. So where is that small 12-year-old boy? Anil, do we have you here? So of course this 12-year-old boy is still having the fitness of a 12-year-old boy. Anil, you know there are certain things that we do in life and we don't know how far the impact is going to go. When I throw a piece of pebble inside water, I have no idea how far the ripples will go. So what you did, let's say about 50 years ago, is making its impact in lives even today. So we are so grateful and glad to have you with us. Do you remember Anil's story in the session Impossible is Temporary? But the last 2 sessions have been, let's say, a little heavy and a little strong. So the need is to do something very intense and beautiful. At the same time, it is time for us to make a session very light. So though the topic that we have today is a very complicated topic, the effort will be to take this session in a very, very light way inside the classroom. This session will have a lot of activities, quite a lot of thinking, and you have to be ready to make a joker out of yourself. Which means this will test your ability to laugh at yourself. If you are one of those totally, completely, comprehensively, should I say, prim and proper, then you won't be able to take this session well. If you are one of those bindas types, then this will be the perfect session for you. For you to excel in this session, a little quantity of shamelessness will be required. Little quantity of shamelessness. Those of you who have enough, you will have to restrict a little. Those of you who don't have at all, you will have to borrow it for this session. So to begin with, can all of you sit next to a person you don't know at all? I give you 30 seconds. Move. Sit next to a person you don't know at all. Some of my friends in the last row, you're already sitting next to a person you don't know. Fair enough. Okay, here's the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, settle down, please. I have always wondered, when we ask people to shift from their seats, why do they start talking? And I've not got the answer to this question yet. There are some people like Kuldeep who says, "मैं कहाँ बैठूं? Everybody knows me." Kuldeep किधर है? हाँ, there he is. Most famous person in KMM 2017. So far, 5 sessions, I have not been able to take a single session without mentioning the name Kuldeep. The Chinese decided that they want to live in peace. They didn't want to attack nations, and being scared, they also did not want to be attacked by others. So they built that Great Wall of China. Quite tall, quite wide, very strong. With the conviction that now nobody will be able to attack us, we are completely safe. In the next 100 years after they made the Great Wall, China was invaded 3 times. In all the 3 times, the attacking armies did not have to go beyond the wall by climbing up, nor did they have to break through the walls. All they needed to do was bribe the guards. We can give our children a lot of skills, a lot of attitudes, a lot of knowledge, a lot of marks, a lot of resources, a lot of support. But the guards did not experience what is called as character building. They were given a job, they were paid some money, but the character was not built. And because the character was not built, even if it is the strongest wall in the whole world, it was easily breached. This is the work that we have to do through Keep Moving movement in every class, in every school that you go to. And this is what all the sessions till now have been about. Let's see if we can build the character of children. So when I say character, it is not just about ethics, but also sharpness of the mind, a drive from within. This belief that we can do extraordinary things. And that is why the session on impossible is nothing. And that is why the session on no blame, no complaint, no excuses. And life cannot be only for us. In every relationship of our life, we believe we must be contributors and not consumers. Keeping that in mind, that I am a good person if I am a contributor, and I need to do a lot in my own life if I am still a consumer from people. Keeping this in mind, we had the last session, which is about let's contribute to the country. Let's bring in that little element of selflessness in the work that we do. We live in a very competitive world, as a result of which, now and then, we experience selfishness. So a person who is breaking the traffic signals is a little selfish. A person who is driving on the wrong side of the road is a little selfish. A person who throws kachra on the road, it can be somebody throwing somebody from the balcony of their house, or somebody who flips a kachra from the car window. is a little selfish, which means I'm not thinking about what is happening to others because of me. So instead of bringing in faces like the mother, the father, the teachers, we said let's create a beautiful identity called the nation, as a result of which the last session was on patriotism. Brilliant character by itself will be a little weak. It needs an extraordinary support. And that support is emotional tranquility. If I'm not the master to my emotions, anybody in the world can bring the worst out of me. Only when I'm a master to my emotions, only when I know how to channelize my emotions, only when I know, even if I have tsunami of emotions, I should know how to handle it. My best is going to come out for myself and for others. This session is about mastering the tsunami called emotions. If I get this right, so much of life will be right. Why is this session essential? Every now and then, life will be unfair. Every now and then, you, me, our students will go through something which we believe we don't deserve. Like those children who lost their parents when the parents committed suicide. By no stretch of imagination can we say that life has been fair to these children. Like that, some of us will go through some incidents, some accidents, where though you and me are not at fault, things turn out a little differently. And that is where the emotional tsunami also happens. Every now and then, we will make mistakes. We will goof up. We will do blunders. Again, at that time, we go through an emotional tsunami. And every now and then, people will do wrong to us. We will be tremendously disappointed by the behavior, by the antics of other people who may be important to us in life. These three ways, life will challenge us and it will create a lot of emotions inside us. When I develop myself as a person who knows how to handle the tsunami of emotions in all these situations, even if the worst happens to me, I can still scale up and reach the peak. Even if I have made mistakes, I can lift myself and move ahead in life. Even if certain relationships have tremendously disappointed me, love, trust, happiness are not given up on life. All I need to do is make some corrections, make certain understandings, and move ahead with love, trust, and happiness in life. Imagine a life where your emotions do come, but you know how to handle them. You will feel in control. We had this lovely human being as a part of the fraternity. His name was Vinod Dhamne. With a lot of love, we used to call him Chotu. And one day when we were discussing something with Chotu, Chotu said, the worst thing anybody can do to another human being is to make them feel helpless. This is the worst state of mind, is a state of mind of helplessness. I'm hurt, I'm sick, I'm tired, I still have confidence. But when I feel helpless, I give up. These extreme emotions that you and me will encounter in life makes us feel helpless. And every suicide is nothing but a decision born out of helplessness. Every person who gives up is nothing else but a story of feeling helpless somewhere. And all of these emotions that we go through, if we don't know how to handle them, every now and then we will justify wrong behavior and bad choices in the label of helplessness. So this session is supremely crucial because the children will go through situations where they encounter these three. Life is not fair, he himself was not fair, and sometimes people are not fair. This will result in negative emotions. If they know how to handle it, they will never feel helpless. They will always feel confident. If we can fill them with confidence, then we have achieved something truly incredible and we have contributed beautifully in the life of children. All the emotions in the world are actually only six. Every emotion is a combination of those six. What are those six emotions? Joy, surprise, and then there are four negative ones. Disgust, sadness, and then the two world famous, fear and anger. Every other emotion in the world is a combination or different degrees of these six. Imagine in a class, you taking the session in such a way that you make it very simple for the children to believe only six. Joy, though I don't have to handle. If it is there, fair enough. Surprise, though I like. You give me a surprise, I'm very, very happy. Like, iPhone 8 is about to be released and I'm waiting to get surprised. All of you listening to me? I prefer 128 GB, but I leave it to you. I take birthday gifts in advance. My birthday just went 21st of July. Why suddenly so much silence? You got surprised? Okay. I told you this is a session of shamelessness. Surprise is welcome. Disgust is when I'm completely disappointed by somebody because of their actions or what they said. Sadness, when I think I'm not in control and I won't be able to do anything and I deserve to be very low. Fear, when I'm uncertain about my own capabilities to face a situation. And anger, when things don't go the way I wanted them to go. If I have to ask you, imagine each one of these as bombs, or imagine all of these as tsunamis. Which is your personal tsunami? What is the emotion that is very intense in you? Which one of these is the most frequent in your life? Anyone? Joy? Okay. Anger? Okay. Anger? Okay. Anger? Anger? Anger, anger, anger. It's like an echo. Anger, 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 anger. And for some of us, maybe fear also. We're a little scared and therefore we stay in our comfort zones. Remember, comfort zone not only keeps you safe, but it also keeps you small. But anger, yes. Let's say anger is a disease in the world today. Anger is actually a disease in the world today. How would it be if we have a session where we address children and make them understand that they have the capacity in them to handle anger? Okay, forget about the children. How would you like it to have a session where you realize you don't have to go to an anger management course or anger management therapist? By the time you leave today, 10 o'clock, you should be super confident that you will be able to handle all the anger that you feel. How would it be? Nice? Okay. So let's do something. Do all of you have a paper, pad, pen kind of a thing? Take it out. Now let's do some exercise. Anywhere you go, even if it is a music concert, always take something to write with and to write on. Unless you have a smartphone in which you can draw, let it always be a piece of paper. Now inside the classroom, we are going to do a few activity with the children. Now, how are we crafting this session? In the beginning, we established the need on why we should be master to our emotions. And then we explain to them what are the emotions which needs to be mastered. And we take them through steps with activities. What is it that can be done to master it? And then we move to two other very beautiful parts, which will be kind of funny and hilarious. So that when we end the session, you leave them on a high with which they will believe that they will be able to master their negatives. So that's how the whole session has been designed. What are you going to do now? So let's assume all of us over here have anger as our tsunami. It brings that tsunami. How many of you have experienced those times when you are angry, you said something or you did something which you did not like? Right? Okay, fair enough. Why at all do things which we don't like? Hence, let's learn how to do that, how to control that, how to master that. First thing what you're going to do is, now this may be a little difficult for a few of you. Now don't bother about the end result, only be bothered about the process. If your process is right, there is a correction which is happening over here, and that is the interesting part. For example, do all of you know your name? Those of you who didn't say yes, do you know your name? Are you lazy on a Sunday morning? If I ask you to write your name with the other hand, which is not your natural hand, let's say my natural hand is right. So if I have to write using my right, it will come out very beautifully. Which means I know my name and I know how to write. But if I have to do the same thing with my left hand, it won't come out very beautiful, right? Now that does not mean I don't know my name. It just means this coordination is not there yet. Left hand, the brain, and writing, this coordination has not happened yet. So if you're going to do something, don't bother too much about what is happening. You can look at it, you can smile, you can be happy, you can be sad, you can be disgusted, you can be afraid, you can go through all those emotions. But what is important is you're doing it. So what are you going to do? Imagine any time of your life when you were really angry, and preferably, if you have come with your life partner, don't think about that moment with them. Now what you're going to do is, you are going to draw your face when you are really angry. How do you look when you're really angry? Come, you have 2 minutes time. No, natural hand. Absolutely natural hand. With your natural hand, draw your face when you are really angry. I've never seen so many people happily draw their anger. Draw your face when you are really angry. How do you look? When you are really, really angry, how do you look? 30 seconds over, 1.5 minutes left. Imagine you are M.F. Hussain. And you can create masterpieces. And what you're going to create is going to be valued in crores of rupees after your death. And your children and grandchildren are really going to enjoy your anger. They're going to auction this painting. 1 minute left. How does your eyes look? What happens to your cheeks? What about your teeth? If you can, what happens to your neck? You're really angry. What about your shoulders? What about your hands? Shake hands with yourself. Brilliant work done. Really brilliant work done. Okay? Kiss yourself. I told you you have to be a little shameless. Some of them are sitting like, I'm not asking you to kiss the neighbor. I'm asking you to kiss yourself. In fact, if you're smart, what you'll do is, something like that, electrifying moment. Now give it a title. How would you like this painting to be titled? Every painter names their painting. What would you like to name it? Name it. Namkaran karo abhi. After you've done it, I'll say Swaha. So what did you name it? Anybody? Yes. Angry Birds. Birds. Bird. Okay. Yes. Volcano. Okay. Vanshika. Huh? Hotspot. Hotspot. Okay. Interesting. Huh? Angry young man, me, myself. Moats? Be hungry, not angry. Did you ask your wife's permission for that statement? Because she has to cook. Huh? Monster? Okay. Okay, let's move on. We'll get a lot of chances today to speak. All those hands who have raised, who spoke now, you will not get an opportunity to speak again inside this session today. What is the next thing you will do? Write down 3 things which really makes you angry, which is a cause of consistent anger. You know, all of us have a kind of a hook. There is something in life which makes us consistently angry. It can be something as simple as, my children don't wake up on time. It can be something as simple as when I see somebody breaking the traffic signal. It can be something as simple as when I delegate work to people and they don't do that work. What is it that makes you angry? Write 3 points. I know some of you might have 15, 20 points, but not more than 3. And some of you might have only 1 or 2. Anger always has a pattern. It always has a pattern. What makes you angry? For somebody who's in the armed forces, when he reads about a Jawan getting killed on the borders, he might be very angry with the politicians who are not doing what he believes should be done. Have you written 3 things? What will you write next? Now this is very cute. And some of you will be a little embarrassed and sometimes you might be a little shocked. Some of you may not have immediate answers. And then you watch yourself for the next few days and you will see, oh, this is how it is. Now here it comes. When you are angry, what do you typically say? Again, I need only 3 points. For example, let me give you a guideline. I asked somebody this question. We did this experiment with a few people that when you are angry, typically what do you say? And one person said, I always say, जी के कोई फायदा ही नहीं है. Every time they are angry, they say, जी के कोई फायदा नहीं है. Which means there is a tremendous sense of helplessness inside. And when I am angry, I think about जी के कोई फायदा नहीं. So is there a statement that you make? I will never talk to you again. Is there a statement like that you make? Biggest mistake of my life was you. Or do you say, I will go and settle down in Haridwar? Is there anything typical you say when you're really angry? Don't write down the cuss words that you use. I know a few of you very well. Could it be, तुम लोग को समझता नहीं है क्या? Does a mother say, एक ही चीज कितनी बार बोलने का? Or does she look at the husband and say, ये बच्चे सब आपके ऊपर गए हैं? Like Prashant was saying, even if the काम वाली बाई has not come, do you say all because of you? What do you typically say when you're really angry? Okay? Could you find something? Is it an interesting exercise? Next. What do you typically do when you are angry? Do you get up and leave? Do you start walking fast? Do you scream and shout? What's your favorite activity when you're angry? Do you break things? What do you normally do when you're angry? Do you go off to sleep? Do you bang things? ना जोर से गेट बंद करने का, जोर से ड्रॉर बंद करने का. Your anger comes out on those things. Utensils, loud noise. The moment you are angry, do you start blaming someone? Is that your expression of anger? What do you normally do when you are angry? Just write three things. Think three things most common to you. Some of you might find only one thing happening with you. When you are angry, you do only that. Maybe blame, 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 blame. Maybe shout, 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 shout. Now comes an interesting question. What else can be done? This is what you normally do. What else can be done? Now here I need answers from you. I will give you 2-3 options just to keep the creative mind rolling. And then I would like you to think, what else can be done? And inside the classroom, you will make people come up with ideas. Now, if you are saying an idea that Naren, this can be done, you are assuming responsibility and accountability to do that. So when you are angry, don't use the phone. Something like that. Either to message or to call. Whenever I am angry, I will not use the phone. Now what about if the person is in front of you? Go out and take a walk. Okay? Now look at this. We will have about 15-20 options. Now mirror, what do you think is workable for you? When I am angry, the first thing that I need to do is change the way I think. There is a thinking pattern which is making me angry. For example, let's say I love food and food is not cooked to my taste. Now there is a pattern in which I will think now. This is not good, itna bhi nahi hai, khana bhi nahi hota hai, itna mehnat karke hai, raat ko khana naseeb nahi. There's a pattern in which I think, and maybe that pattern is self-sympathy. Now which means if I need to master my anger, I first need to break that pattern of thinking. I break that pattern of thinking by finding an alternative activity. So that's how it goes, that's how it works. So one thing, like he's saying, just go for a walk. Fair enough. What else can be done? Listen to loud music. Oh, some other people will get angry. Headphones? Listen to loud music. What kind of music? Low hands. Slow hands. Okay, slow hands. It's nice. When you're angry, become slow. I think it will really work. It will really work. It's a brilliant idea. Now, do you practice this or have you seen your parents practice it with you? Okay. Bye. Start? Start singing songs. Which kind of songs? Kuldeep, which song? Kuldeep has a favorite song. Tadap, tadap ke dil mein. That kind of a song. Yes, darling. Start writing anything. Just start writing anything. Fair enough? Yes, my friend next to Milind. I can't see the face. Huh? Eat my favorite food. You are my kind of a girl. I do that. Whenever I am angry, I start eating. Nothing satisfies my entire soul than eating good food. Yes, darlings? Huh? Oh, that's a good idea. Whenever you are angry, just go and stand in front of the mirror. You don't like what you see. Yeah, good idea. Yes, anybody there? Is that Ashish? Yeah. Drink a glass of water. Okay, fair enough. Count ulta. Okay, 99 or 10? 10 onwards or 99 onwards? 10 onwards, which means her anger is small. No? Achha, we'll discuss this later. Family matters later on. Okay, there. Huh? Read some jokes. Okay. Just observe my breath. Okay. We'll do some breathing exercises later on. Huh? Take deep breaths. Oh, did both of you consult? You know, in a school once, brother and sister wrote the exact same essay on a dog. So the teacher immediately said, "You copied from each other?" Both of them said, "No, it's the same dog." Just wondering. Yes, last row. Cycling or dancing. Cycling or dancing. Now I'm imagining my wife is becoming angry at me and I am becoming angry, and then suddenly I start, okay, let me imagine it a little more. I think it will work better if you go inside the room and dance. Right? But it's a good idea. I mean, it's very nice. You're on the roads and you're getting really angry, park the car to one side, put the music on, slow hands, and do one slow motion dance over there. We don't know about our anger, but many other people will have the time of their life. Before you know, you are the hero of a video which has gone viral all over. Brilliant ideas. Lovely ideas. I'm really liking this session. Okay, some new hands. They're searching new things. You have to be very specific. Yes? Is that Ajit? Ajit. You have to be very specific again. You have to be very specific again. Ajit is tired. Oh, बैठ गया अभी. Okay, yes, my friend there. Hug someone. Again, my kind of a person. But ensure that is not the person on whom you are angry. Otherwise, you will break a few bones. Aaja abhi tu. And I presume for some of you that English wala hug is also good and the Hindi wala might also work in some cases. Huh? Replace the person with? We respect the most. You replace them in your mind. So let's say if I'm very angry with you, I should think about the person whom I respect the most. Huh? Okay. Tanu? Watch funny memes. Now, this is a specific girl. She's the right person for architecture. Ajit, sun. Okay. Now this is a very, very simple, beautiful, effective. Yes, my young friend. And with that we move on. Exercise. Okay. Yeah, it's a good idea. Acha, count 1 to 10 in front of the mirror. Okay, fair enough. How about doing spot jumping? When you're angry, just start jumping like this. People will ask you, what's happening? I'm exercising, jumping, miming, everything is happening at the same time. Science has proved if you jump 3 times, you cannot be angry. Yeah, really. It works. You have to attempt it and see. It works brilliantly well. The moment you jump, you feel elated, you feel nice. You're doing something anti-gravity, you will feel very glad. That's why children like to jump so much and they are so happy. That's why they have a fascination for the trampoline. Next time when you go on a holiday, as your child is jumping, you also jump along with them on the trampoline. And in case that person who owns the trampoline becomes angry, get him on the trampoline. Tell him, 3 बार jump कर, देख क्या होता है. And it will be so simple and so beautiful. Like this, it will be so beautiful if you just have a discussion like this among friends. Digressing from KMM for some time. When you're sitting at home, most of us, quality time together means all of us seeing the same serial. Quality time together can be a discussion on, so if somebody is angry, how do you think we can deal with it? You can ask each other, when I'm angry, what's the normal sentence that I use? And you'll certainly find their answers will make you smile, laugh. It will be hilarious. We are speaking about anger. But look at the kind of laughter that we are having over here. Which means inside the classroom, all the children must start believing that even if they are very angry, they need not be helpless in front of their anger. I understand anger coming. But the issue is, we hurt ourselves, we hurt things, or we hurt people because of that anger. I understand anger coming. But we're making wrong choices or making somebody else make right choices, or making somebody's self-confidence go down. That is the issue. So anger coming is natural, but anger is not a nice emotion. All people get angry. Those who live an ordinary life, they also will be angry. And those who live an extraordinary life, they are also angry. But the difference is, people who have a desire to do something special, live an extraordinary life, create an impact, be a contributor, they would know how to channelize their anger. They will ensure harm does not happen because of their anger. So you don't have to be sad or you don't have to be angry at having anger, but learning how to handle it will be a very, very beautiful thing to do. And like a few of my friends suggested, breathing is one of the most beautiful things by which we can master anger. Like we discussed, any negative emotion makes your breath small and very fast. Any negative emotion makes you breathe like a piston. For example, when you're afraid, how do you breathe? Fast. When you're angry, similarly, very fast, very shallow and very fast. Either I change my thinking pattern or I change my breathing pattern. There are a few ways in which we can change our breathing pattern, and we will do that now. One, we can just make our body rock still. When you're angry, just become rock still. Freeze. Shift your focus onto your breathing. You don't have to do anything else, but the breathing will become a little longer. The beauty about the system is, you become aware of your anger and you keep your body rock still, and slowly and steadily the anger will subside. Your anger will want you to move your body, to be aggressive. But you curtail that movement and you will find your anger is also being curtailed. So what we're going to do is, right now we'll practice body rock still just for a minute. You can keep your eyes open if you want. You can keep your eyes closed if you want. Just for a minute, body will be rock still. 3, 2, 1, body rock still. And in the silence, you are able to see your thoughts, and it's easier for you to master your thoughts. 3, 2, 1. What we're going to do now is, we're going to do a few breathing techniques, and we're going to do it in a little comical, a little hilarious way, so that the children have fun. They don't want to be told with a lot of intensity or a lot of anger or a lot of power that they must master their anger. They must see the process of mastering anger as a funny process, as a light process, as something which can be done with joy. So what are we going to do? Now all of you will participate with me in the different breathing techniques that we are going to share now. Are all of you game? Ready to be a little shameless? Fair enough. So what we have done right now is body rock still. Now what you will do is, imagine you have gone to the village, and imagine there is a chula, you are very hungry, and your grandmother wants to make roti for you. But the thing is, she does not have strong lungs anymore, so she is not able to breathe air out, and therefore the small spark is not becoming a fire. Now if the spark does not become a fire, you don't get roti. So she will say, thoda phook marna. What you are going to do is, you are going to phook maro. Also imagine you have a pipe, and with that pipe, you are going to phook maro. Now remove the imaginary pipe and do phook maro. Okay? Let's do it 5 times. भूख लगी है, चूल्हे में आग लगना जरूरी है. Some of you look professionals. Okay. अरे 5 बस. Some of you, of course, I can see from here are a little embarrassed. अरे आग बुझाना नहीं है, आग लगाना है. माचिस की तीली को जैसे बुझाता है ना, वैसे fill your lungs, fill your chest. No whistling, no other sound. Ever in your life you are angry, do this twice or thrice. And you will find your breathing pattern has changed, your thinking pattern has changed. The harm which anger would otherwise cause is not being. You know what has gone wrong. With a very cool, calm, composed mind, you will find how to solve it, how to move ahead. But you won't create damage. Now, have you seen Japanese sumos? How they sit? What was their pose? Now is the time for us to all become shameless. Some of you escaped in that Fukmaro exercise. Because others were busy, you were simply sitting. And some of you were looking at me with an O. Breathing is normal. Narendra को क्या सुनाई देगा? अब मेरे को दिखाई देगा. So what we are going to do is, we are going to do sumo breathing. What is sumo breathing? Now, this is how a sumo wrestler sits, right? Now I know every morning some of you sit like this for quite a long time. But this is done without any support. Okay. So what you're going to do is, you're going to breathe like a sumo wrestler. So little up, little down, and you'll do it like this. Okay? What are you doing? Still sitting? Come on, stand up. Okay, sumo wrestlers, body up. Brilliant. Oh, awesome, awesome. Certain personal disclosures, don't practice this with your mother-in-law. Because if she feels threatened and she also goes down like that, the World War III might start. Okay, so this is one. What is the other thing that we can do? Now be creative inside the car. The idea is what? Deep and slow breathing. That's the idea. But the mind is creative. It needs something new. It needs something original. It needs something different. And that causes a lot of fun. Snake breathing. Snake. Huh? Okay. That's all. Huh? आ जाओ. सब लोग आ जाओ. The person with whom you are angry, आ जाओ. Okay. And now we'll sway to one side. Inhale to one side, exhale to one side. Imagine yourself as Nagamani, okay, reborn Nag whose lover was killed. You know, something like that. The serials are coming right now. Snake breathing. Now make the children do that. Chances are children will do like, no, this is not snake breathing. This is snake vibrating. We want breathing, ekdam full. I'll share with you a few more. It should be hilarious, it should be brilliant, and you have to be a little shameless. I see sometimes in some mock sessions, you are very conscious of yourself. Don't bother. Inside every class, there will be 5-6 children who are really cooperating. Think you are giving a session to them. The magic about public speaking is, stop imagining you are in front of so many people and start imagining you are talking one-to-one, face-to-face, person to person. Then even if it is 10,000 people in the audience, makes no difference to you. Pressure starts coming when you think 50 people have to be transformed, 100 people have to be impacted. Then pressure starts coming. Think you are talking to individuals. And in every group, there are a few very, very friendly individuals. What are you going to do now? Elephant. Okay? Take this hand, put it across. Take this other hand from below this hand. Now this is elephant, right? Now elephant will go up, inhale up, exhale. What you can also do is inhale from one nostril, exhale from the other nostril. Okay? Now, when you do it inside the classroom, you'll ask everybody to stand up and you will ask them to move their butts. When the focus shifts to their butts, they are able to do this effortlessly. When the focus is only over here, they are watching others. So shift their focus to their butts. And no ifs and buts. So imagine if you ask them to do like this. Good fun. Last two. Eagle. Eagle. You know, the eagle does not flap its wings. It just takes one and then it glides. So what we are going to do this time is inhale and freeze, which means keep the air inside. And then after some time exhale. Stand up, please. I have never seen a sitting flying eagle in my life. Okay. And in case you have not liked the person after you, the eagle can fly this way also. Keep it. And then whenever you feel, over, okay. Move your knees. Thank you so much. And finally, my favorite, crocodile. Have you seen a crocodile yawn, open its mouth? Ekdam proper, full. Now you're not going to use your body. So I don't want anybody to do. No, not your hands. You will really believe that you believe in rebirth, you believe in Atma. Imagine one crocodile's Atma has come inside you. Or you were a crocodile in your last birth and Purva Janma karma has traveled. Crocodile breathe with the mouth full open. Full. Full means really full. Which means crocodile breathing will be like. And I'll tell you the second trick after that. Please stand up. Today is my day. I am not going to simply stand for 1 hour, 15 minutes and all of you will sit aram se. Aaj uthak baithak sabka. Now imagine you're a crocodile and breathe. Come on. Okay, thank you. I'll just correct a few of you. You can sit if you want, you can keep standing if you want. It will take 30 seconds. Now some of you are moving your shoulders. Have you seen a crocodile breathe with... I say, only the mouth moves. So which means your body is rock still, only your mouth is moving. And crocodile does not throw the head behind. वो अपने कोई जुल्फ ठीक नहीं कर रहा है ऐसे करके. Body remains like this. Do it 5 times. मेरे को बहुत मजा आ रहा है. Do it 10 times. Okay, thank you. Please sit down. Now you can go and tell the whole world, there are so many animals inside me. But all the animals are properly in control. Peak dynamism in life is always born out of peak staticity. The more you want to move ahead, the more you need to be stable. Reflection can never be seen in boiling water. It requires stable waters. If I am an archer, I take the bow, I take the arrow, I put it in that string. The string still has elasticity. It is not peak staticity. I take it behind, take it behind, take it behind, and I take it to that stage where 1 inch less and it is very dhila. 1 inch more and the string is going to break. And at that stage, I can feel the entire power of my body just in this place. Everything is concentrated over here. And from here, when I leave the arrow, it goes ahead with peak dynamism, maximum speed. Now imagine, I take that bow, I take that arrow, and I release it from here. How far will it go? It will drop right here, correct? If this is not stable, your momentum will be like the arrow just flying and flowing down and falling down over here. And when this is super stable, you can get the dynamism you wish to have in your life. And that comes out of composure. So while this session has a very few beautiful, funny parts, the impact of this session can be felt immediately in your day-to-day living. Imagine yourself living life with composure. Your ability to take risks, your ability to think big, your ability to break your comfort zones, your ability to relate with people, your ability to take initiative, everything will just go up a few levels. And imagine these negative emotions which creates instability as a part of your life. You will have 100 desires, but you will reject your own desires. You won't be able to live the kind of life that you deserve to live. In China, there is a saying, inside every seed, there is a forest. You and me should not die as a seed. We have the capacity to be a forest. And for that seed to become a forest, for a human potential to become actual performance, stability is required. And this session will provide stability to children inside the classroom. Fear which would stop them, imagine, I can say I handle fear and I can handle fear. Disgust which will make me give up on things and I say things went wrong, but I can think about ways by which I can bring it back on track. Anger which will destroy things, I know I can feel it, but I know I can control it. I will neither harm myself nor will I harm others. Sadness which will want to make to give up, I know sometimes disasters will happen, but I will take a few moments and the mind will be filled again with freshness, rigor, and power. The beauty about this session is, it's not complicated, it's not difficult. It's one of the easiest sessions that we have ever created in Keep Moving Movement. But the profoundness of this session can be super fantastic. Can you visualize it that way? So wish you all the best in taking this session and wish you brilliant transformation in your life as a part of this session. You will complete the session by discussing about peak dynamism is only possible through peak staticity. You will give the example of the archer and then you will take brain tattoos inside the classroom.